Yo, what's up? It's Yo Rumi. So if you see my other videos, you know that I typically focus on building and launching and running marketplaces, such as Studio Time. Studio Time is you can think of it it's been called like the Airbnb for music studios. So typically a lot of the marketplaces that I build and run or build for other people through our ThinkBox services. So we do build marketplaces for a lot of other people. Typically those are for rentals of spaces or services. So I wanted to actually use Sharetribe and build a marketplace that was for buying and selling goods or products. And so I actually built a marketplace called Uni, which you can see right here on Product Hunt. I just launched the other day. And it's a curated marketplace for buying and selling men's home goods. So I love high, like you call it high fashion or designer fashion, and also not only fashion for clothing, but also for home pieces. So everything from like designer furniture to artwork to toys, like super plastic, pretty much all the above, like anything designer I like. So I was like, why not just build a marketplace for that, since I needed to have a marketplace for buying and selling goods. And that was something that I spent a ton of time researching anyways, in the space of high fashion. So why not? So you might be familiar with another marketplace. It's called Grailed. So I'll show it right here. And I buy and sell on Grailed all the time. I'm obsessed with it. But Grailed doesn't let you list home goods really. So if you put like artwork on there, or if you were to, for instance, put like a couch or like a table book, something like that, they would probably remove it. I know that because I've actually tried to list a few Alec Monopoly pieces that I have, and they removed it. So that's another reason why I wanted to build and launch Uni, so that way I could uh, buy and sell on my own marketplace and list my own products. So here's the kind of the product hunt post right here. And I built this in about 30 minutes using Sharetribe. So that's what I'm going to go through in this video, is just kind of take you through that process. And we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. So here's the Sharetribe homepage, and we're not going to use their Flex or their open source. We're simply going to use their hosted version, which is called their Go. I made some other tutorial videos that you can kind of check out on my YouTube for services and spaces marketplaces. But once again, this is the first time I'm really going to actually build a product marketplace for buying and selling products or goods. So I basically just clicked on the get started on this and went through their onboarding, which is enter your name, email, the marketplace country, which then will populate the language used. And then I did click on the product marketplace for buying and selling products and not services. So once I did that, then I was actually in the kind of admin setup dashboard for Uni, and this is it right here. So as you can see, we're on the live URL right now, which is www.shopuni.io, because I went ahead and configured that, obviously, since I launched it. But basically, as soon as you went through the initial onboarding, you would be right here with all the logo. It would just be plain text, and obviously wouldn't have this, your user profile picture or anything. It would just be very basic. But here's the kind of the steps they take you through. So you can see right here, they're all kind of crossed out, but I'm going to basically kind of go through the entire process that I went through when I first set it up in about 30 minutes. So first, obviously, create a marketplace. Then it would be adding the placeholder information, which you can see right here is like slogan and description. So where that would be on the admin is actually basic details. So that's kind of like their way of having a checklist. So in the setup, it would have populated English, because I selected United States and then English as the default language. Then I dropped in Uni as the marketplace name. I wanted to display the slogan on the homepage, so it's outfit your home to match your style. And then the description below that is the curated marketplace for buying and selling men's designer home goods. You can click on like see how it looks right here, and that's like the kind of preview it takes you to. So this is actually the live, like you could call it like homepage right now. So we'll go back. All right, so then the search help text. I wanted to make this very straightforward to be like designers. And I assume that that's what people are going to search for if they come to Uni and are looking for different home goods. I didn't want to get into like looking for paintings, couches, chairs, all that. I didn't want to for people to search for the item type, but primarily like designer names, because I'm assuming that that's what people are primarily searching by. So I put in here search designer name item, and you can see I did select for require users to accept an agreement before a transaction. So here's like the placeholder, agree to terms and community guidelines. And I am using PayPal for payment, so not Stripe. So users will go through the PayPal kind of process for the checkout. So they'll also agree to PayPal's policies on that. So of course, if I was to run this as a marketplace, I would want to make sure that this is totally compliant on the legal end. I'd probably run this by a legal resource to have the right text right here, and link to an actual kind of terms and community guidelines page. But this is kind of the initial setup in 30 minutes. So, and for the purpose of building an MVP. So this will do. So I went on save settings for that. And then the next step, we'll just keep kind of going through this fairly quickly, is the actual adding the logo. So as you can see up here, here's the logo. It's actually kind of cut off at the top of it. But I actually used Snappa to just drop in like text and size it properly for an actual logo. And I forget exactly, it was like 10, I don't know the exact kind of resolution display that I used on there, but it was basically for a Twitter and Facebook profile picture. So that way it would be sized properly on social, and then that way I could just take that here. So that was the file right here. You can see I saved it and added it. I then added that for the logo for home screen. For a cover photo, what I did for that was I believe I just searched like home design, like male home design on Google, and then I used the tools on that was basically selected for commercial reuse. So that way I didn't have to purchase a stock image or anything. So you have to excuse the sirens in the background over here. All right, and then for the small cover photo, I just added the same image on that. For a favicon, I just used that same logo, and so that was sized down. And then for the marketplace main color, I did have to change that. So I wanted to keep this like very minimalist, kind of clean looking, monochromatic, so white and black. So those are the two different colors that I use for the main colors, slogan color and then description color. Then you can see down here, so for the default browse view, I selected grid. So you could change it to like list or map, but since a lot of these are buying and selling goods, we are going to have shipping as an option, and map is less relevant on that, and same thing for list. So we're going to use grid. For display names, so we're going to go first and last on this. So that will be displayed right on the listing cards, and that would be obviously in the grid view. For custom script, like I didn't do any customization on this. I just wanted to build like a simple MVP and just have pretty much like a demo marketplace for buying and selling goods. So that's the design. So we'll get on the new layout. So search, it's a new top bar. It is visible on all the pages. So I selected that. Their old nav is a little bit different. So I did change up here. So since it is the primary call to action button is post a new listing. So I changed that. So for instance, on like studio time, it's add a new listing or add your studio. But on this, I want to keep it fairly generic. So just refer to that action as a new listing, because I didn't want to use specifically like add a painting or anything like that, since it is a marketplace for it could be a large variance of different goods that could be added. So let's see over here. So I did a link to the about and the contact us. And then the custom menu options, I want to do like a how it works, which I just linked to one of the kind of placeholder pages that I use directly to edit. So that's the top bar. For the footer, Sharetribe just introduced this. I think you have to pay to upgrade. Yeah, configure. So yeah, so they're trying to upsell you on the pro plan on this. And I just use the basic, of course, because I'm just trying to create like a simple kind of demo marketplace. So I'm not going to pay extra to have that. I don't have a custom landing page. My main kind of state of the marketplace is the just header with listings right below it. That should work for a while for an MVP, even if we're kind of to scale this up until it gets like, I would say a couple hundred listings probably. And at that point, it'd be a better user experience for people to go to a homepage that probably has listing categories or other ways that we could kind of sort the listings and make it easier for people to get to the right listings from the homepage. Then the user fields. So on this is for user profiles. So I did first name, last name, and then email address, which this is on the basic, the sign up. So that's where that information is input by the user. A profile picture, you can see location, display name, phone number. I didn't want to add too much. I did add like peer key, which is like a kind of a ratings and reviews for marketplaces actually built that. So since a lot of these people are new and there have been pretty much no transactions on Uni, we needed some kind of reference for users. So that way they would then hopefully engage in transactions, and that would be like added trust to the marketplace. So those are the user fields. We're going to go down here. We're just literally going through everything on the admin kind of setup, and then I'll walk you through the actual live marketplace too, so you can see. But here's the listing categories. So what I did is I just thought about what are the different items that I would want people to potentially list by category, and that would be artwork, and then kind of like subcategories below that, bedding. So that could be there is like actually a lot of designer like soft goods and bedding. So I did add a category for that. Blankets and throws, furniture, pillows, rugs, tableware, wall decor, you can see, and then all other. So I want to keep it kind of basic, and just when people will go to the main website, then they would actually see all those categories, and that would kind of give them an idea of potentially what they could find on Uni. So I'm going to click on the marketplace right now so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. But here's where the main categories are displayed. And so these are basically like product categories for all the different listings. And then the other filters are condition right here. So these are live listings right now of real users that have added different products since we launched on Product Hunt. So once again, so those are listing categories, and then the listing fields and filters. As you can see right here, these are the different fields on the listing. So listing title, price, description, condition, expiration date. I didn't really want expiration date, location, and image. And I'll show you what that looks like on the live marketplace. So this person right here, we'll click on this listing. So as you can see, so listing title, which is up here. So Black Gold Beetle. Here's the description. Which this person is actually has a really good description, so you can get a good idea of what they're actually selling. So this is all the description field right here, all this information. The other field is conditions. So it was like a multi-select, and they selected new without receipt. And then something pretty cool too is we actually have public discussion on here that I enabled, so that way people could kind of discuss about the actual product on the listing. So I took a card from Grailed on that. So Grailed allows comments on listings. Let's see. Let's see if they still do it for all. Yeah, so here's Grailed's listings. It's a little bit slow to load. All right, so yeah, they have. You can see all of their different fields right here. They have description, when day ago. Let's see if there's any discussions on this. No one, yeah, so no comments. Yeah, to start a conversation. Yeah, so no one's commented on this, but basically what I did is Uni is like a Grailed for home goods, as you can start to see. So this is the basic listing fields and filters. So here's where it gets a little bit specific to Uni, being a product marketplace for buying and selling products, is the order types is not renting out. Typically that's what the order types were, or purchasing services for the other marketplaces that I've either started or worked with. But on this one, the order type is going to be selling. So here's the different order types you can have when creating a Sharetribe marketplace MVP using their hosted marketplace. So you can see selling products, renting products, offering services, giving things away, requesting, posting announcements. So this is selling. So I'll click on the edit right here. So I called it selling, and then the checkout button on that is the buy. So as you can see, there's 24 listings, so I don't want to mess around with that. Then for the pricing and checkout, I did allow sellers to add a pricing and then accept payments online. You can allow them to not accept payments online. So that would basically be like an inquiry for the listing. And then I also did allow sellers to define a shipping fee. So I've never built a marketplace before that accounts for shipping. So this is also a new use case. And then availability. So we don't need availability right here because that would be for spaces or services, kind of rental-based marketplaces like Studio Time or Airbnb. And then the pricing units, we really don't need to worry about that either because we're not doing any kind of like hourly rental, unit rental, or need to customize that or anything. It's a simple purchase for buying and selling. And then for the payment system, as you'll see right here, so I put a minimum transaction size of $1.50. So that way people wouldn't do like kind of test transactions on the marketplace. I've actually had people kind of do that on other marketplaces. So you can make a minimum transaction, or something else to keep in mind is on Stripe. If we were to use Stripe, they actually do charge a fee for transactions each month. So you wouldn't want like each, different accounts to have like $2 transactions, and then you have to pay the fee for each connected account each month and be basically paying more than each connected account transaction would make. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's really not an issue. I haven't really run into it that much with one marketplace I have. But that was a low frequency, low volume transaction with a lot of different connected accounts. And then once again, we're not using Stripe here, so we're not going to run into that. All right, so I did set up PayPal on this. So I simply used a PayPal kind of business account that I had and connected it. I think I used just the ThinkBox account. So that way we had the order type set up, and then the payments went through. So the next step would be social media. So I did add this kind of like pre-populated text. So, this text right here. So this is what's going to pre-populate for shares on social. So I added this kind of basic information in. And then I also set up a Facebook app on using my kind of Facebook developer account. So once I did that, it's super simple. I just added this client ID and then Facebook client secret. And I actually then deselected it because a lot of people don't want to use Facebook anymore. So I did that, basically set it up, added it, tested it, it worked. And then I was like, all right, we actually don't need Facebook login. So it's kind of a waste of, 10 minutes or so. But you can do it fairly easily right here, just kind of entering the client ID and secret right there. Analytics setup. So we're almost done with the actual initial kind of setup. So I didn't enter any instruction text. It doesn't look like. Emails, I did configure the email to send from the shop Uni.io. And then the settings, we'll click on settings because there's quite a bit on here. So I did want to gate the access. So basically anyone could sign up and post a listing right now. We would just curate the listings. So we will review all the listings, and obviously if like they're kind of test listings or fake, we'll remove them. But I didn't want to only make this accessible to users having to sign up to see any of the marketplaces or have to be verified by us. If there is an issue with like counterfeit goods or anything like that, or people selling goods, fake goods, then of course same thing as counterfeit. But I could basically allow only verified users. And if that case, what I would probably do is then I would ask people that wanted to sell, I would just ask for different references for like their other kind of marketplace profiles, and then past transaction ratings and reviews. So probably like their Grailed profile if they sell on Grailed, eBay, or similar. And then as I mentioned, I did allow people to post comments. So that was simple just by like selecting this right here. Something that is more specific to this marketplace is orders being auto-completed after 7 days. So that's something that we might actually have to change to like 14 because we need to account for shipping, and we don't want to auto-complete before the product or goods are received by the buyer should there be anything wrong with them. So we actually might want to kind of bump this up to 14. And then the last kind of settings are these email preferences. So that's honestly, that's the actual setup of the marketplace. And, when you're setting it up, you're not just going to like just cruise right through like I did kind of on this list format. You'll constantly reference your actual marketplace, what it looks like on your URL. When you're setting it up, it's probably going to be like shopuni.sharetribe.com. But once you configure your domain using a GoDaddy or whatever domain provider, you can do that in a few minutes. It's fairly simple. So here is the main marketplace. So I'm logged in right now as a user. So that's why you see this kind of like this little tooltip right here, but it just went away. And here's all the different listings that are live. So this is my paying right here. So I actually listed this on Grailed and they deleted it, as I mentioned a while ago. And so that was kind of like one of the reasons why I did start Uni, to see if I could actually sell my own painting. But here it is right here. So when I click on my own listings, I can see, I can edit it. As the admin, I can close listings. So every listing I'll be able to close, move to the top of the homepage. So as we do get like 50 to 100 listings on this, I do probably want to push up some of the better kind of higher quality listings that will be more appealing to new users. That way they will be kind of at the top and the first thing new users or visitors to the site see when they come to Uni. And then I could show this in the next newsletter. But here is, actually someone commented on it, right? I guess this is probably like the same day that we launched on Product Hunt. But I'm gonna click on my account right here. So you can see all my listings right here. So these are actual items that I have here at my place right now. So for instance, like I have this really cool kind of sectional. This is one piece of a bigger kind of sofa. I have this like painting, this cool lamp, Supreme, probably the only Supreme thing I'd ever own. And then this Cartier kind of book, some kind of cool like designer books. So, I did want to build something that I'm interested in myself and would use. So I am selling some of my own stuff on here. And I'll probably list a bunch of other stuff too. That way I can get more listings and try to sell something pretty soon on here. Just to see the whole process working end to end on Uni. So that was the home. The different pages that are also set up and kind of pre-populated when you do set up your marketplace are these other pages. So like the about, how it works, privacy policy, and terms of service. These are all editable just by clicking on this edit page right here. So that's actually going to take you to just like a WYSIWYG kind of page editor. So this is literally on page. So you can just change this and then save it. Same thing for like how it works. I just literally just went through and just put some fairly basic kind of text on this. But created like how it works, fees, payments, and disputes. I just put information on that, community rules, just the basic information for creating this marketplace MVP that I would need. Same thing for privacy policy and terms of service. It's kind of like boilerplate for each of those. If this does gain a little bit of traction, then of course I want to go through and optimize all this text. Probably make a few changes here and there. Of course, one of those are the terms and privacy policy to make sure that's compliant. But yeah, so it's fairly straightforward. Home, about, contact us, how it works. As you saw earlier, I added this to this main menu because this is probably a common question or something that people would want to see is how it works. And that just simply links you to this actual page that was created. So it's not like a design page or anything. This is just kind of placeholder text that I created that I thought would be helpful to people. For the user, since I am the admin on this account, I can see the admin dashboard, which you guys kind of saw in that setup. Here's my inbox so you can see. Someone just messaged me. I'm assuming this is just like a kind of test message, but it said nice couch. I was like, thanks. So that's the inbox, what that would look like. And it is, you do get like a red kind of dot that is like a notification badge, but here's the inbox. I showed you my profile earlier, and then settings, and these are all user settings. So this is all automatically kind of configured when you do set up your Sharetribe marketplace. Once again, I am configuring this for a product-based marketplace. So it's all kind of configured for that use case and that type of marketplace and orders, and not like studio time, which you can see my other kind of tutorial videos. I walked you through that kind of setup for a music studio marketplace for renting them. So honestly, that's pretty much it. So I'd say in about 30 minutes, you too can set up your own marketplace using Sharetribe. I'll link below to it in the video details or description, and then I'll try to add some other resources down there that I might, that I think might be helpful to you. But comment below if you have any questions. I'll also link to Uni. You can see it at www.shopuni.io. Once again, I did actually launch it on Product Hunt just since I was going to build this demo marketplace and needed to. And it was something that I'd use myself. I thought other people could actually use it too, so why not? So it does turn out that a few people actually did create listings and did comment on it. So we'll see how soon I can actually sell something on Uni and what it actually turns into. But this is basically like a fun kind of like weekend kind of hobby that I just built in about 30 minutes because I needed to do a little bit of research on Sharetribe marketplaces for product buying and selling products and goods for a ThinkBox client. So hopefully you found this screen share tutorial helpful. It's unedited. It's just me kind of walking you through using Sharetribe's Go hosted platform to set up a Grailed style marketplace in about 30 minutes. Thanks.